Well folks, it looks like we got some very good news coming from SEGA as they are seeing many new opportunities unfold after the success of the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. They say that the success of the movie has reinvigorated the franchise, and of course that is very true. There are many new Sonic fans around the world, and yeah, it has become the most engrossing video game licensed movie of all time, surpassing Detective Pikachu. So yeah, with that being said, let's get on with it, shall we? It says this year's Sonic the Hedgehog film was one of the final blockbuster movies released in theaters before the Toyota Corolla shutdown. The movie was a big success, surpassing Detective Pikachu and becoming the highest engrossing video game movie of all time in the United States. Sonic Studios' chief brand officer, Ivo Grskovic, is now commented on the success of the film and how it shaped the Sonic brand overall. Grskovic said in a Reddit AMA that the movie helped reinvigorate Sonic and help it become even more relevant, which is very true. Like I said, it's really nice and refreshing because I definitely was a big Sonic fan when I was a kid, and it's really nice to see it back in the spotlight. You know, this definitely opens the door for new games and all that, new shows, and of course maybe another movie if Sega's feeling up to it. You know, because for judging it by the quality of this movie, if they make another one, it will be something fun for everyone and all that. And of course over here we have some quotes from the guy that were taken from the Reddit AMA. It says, "The success of the film has positively impacted many areas of the brand, from bringing in a new generation of fans to reaching fans in places all over the world that may not be accessible for us alone. The team and I have been building the Sonic brand over the last 5 years, and what may have been headwinds initially with the team when it was formed was turning into tailwinds." He said, "From the inside, working on a brand that was viewed as nostalgic previously that has become relevant is like pushing on a big snowball to help it gain speed, and then it starts picking up momentum and starts rolling faster and faster, and then suddenly it's about just trying to keep up." That's actually a very good analogy, I gotta say, because this pretty much describes what Sonic was before this movie and all that. It wasn't, it was definitely like really popular and all that. It definitely has its own place on the internet and all that with the fandom, but it wasn't really doing all that much to reach new audiences. The Sonic team at SEGA have pretty much stuck to their guns, and not in the best of ways. They were pretty much trying to make the same thing but in a different flavor, and hopefully this will motivate SEGA to basically tell the Sonic team to try do something different with the franchise, and make it continue growing even more. Grskovic says that the Sonic franchise is now in an exciting place, and the success of the movie has opened new doors. Quote, "The brand's growth and success is presenting many new opportunities to tell new stories and deliver new content and products," he said. In another reply on Reddit, Grskovic said that he knew early on that the Sonic movie had the special secret sauce for success. "Seeing the first-hand talent of all the people involved and desire to make a great Sonic film, my spidey sense told me that we had something special. That being said, the fact the movie broke film records for a video game adaptation is a big testament to all those who worked tirelessly on the project, as well as the growing fan base that supported the film." That's also very true, because typically video game licensed movies don't fare all that well. We can all take a look at the Uwe Boll movies and all that. And of course, recently in the last couple of years, the terrible Resident Evil movies have finally released the final iteration, and we can all not be too happy, because by the last movie, pretty much no one gave a crap about it, to be totally honest. So yeah, it's really nice that video game movies are starting to come back on the up and up and all that stuff. The Sonic movie didn't have the smoothest release. The first trailer featured a bizarre-looking Sonic design, and responding to fan feedback, the studio elected to delay the movie to give him a new look. His new design, which has worked well by a studio that has since closed, was much more positively received. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a good sign that the producers actually care about the movie. The fact that they delayed it to give it a new design, because let's face it, folks, if it released with the original design, it pretty much would be nothing more than just a meme tier and all that stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Given the financial success of the first Sonic movie, you might expect there to be a sequel. If it's happening, it hasn't been announced yet, but Grskovic says he hopes it does, saying, quote, "There's nothing more to announce, but speaking for myself and my family, we would love to see another film." My kids are still quoting my lines. That's a bit of a misspelling there, from the movies every day and coming up with new storylines. The Sonic movie has made $146 million in the US and $167.7 million from international markets, for a total of $306.7 million worldwide, While the highest grossing video game movie in the US, it still lags behind Warcraft, which earned 439 million, which is actually a pretty huge mystery to me. Like, Warcraft was absolutely terrible. Detective Pikachu that made 433 million, Rampage 428, and the 29 Jake Gyllenhaal, I can't pronounce that name, Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time, with 336 million at the global box office for video game adaptations. Notably, however, Sonic was not released in China and Japan, while those other movies were. That's actually pretty weird, and like, it makes total sense that it wasn't released in China because the Chinese government is just absolutely idiotic, and they'll basically censor whatever the hell they want. But the fact that it wasn't released in Japan is really mind-boggling, since of course SEGA is in Japan. I mean, in all honesty, it would make more sense for the movie to get released in Japan right after the US and all that. The Sonic movie is directed by Jeff Fowler, who earned an Oscar nomination for his 2004 animated Go for Broke, and made a feature film directorial debut with the project. Ben Schwartz voices Sonic, while Jim Carrey plays Robotnik. There's plenty more video game adaptations in the works, including an Uncharted movie starring Tom Holland, Mark Wahlberg, as well as films based on Monster Hunter and Mortal Kombat. On TV, HBO just announced a Last of Us 2 series. If the writing for the Last of Us TV show is anything like the Last of Us 2, then yeah, it's pretty much doomed to fail. But I am pretty excited to see what the Uncharted movie is going to do, because let's face it, folks, Uncharted is one of those games that really lends itself well to a movie adaptation. Because if you actually take a look at Uncharted, the whole thing is basically 50% movie, 50% video game, and I'm talking in terms of, you know, like the the hammy writing and all that, the jam-packed action scenes. I'm really excited to see what they're going to come out with that. I really don't care all that much about Monster Hunter and Mortal Kombat movies because I really don't play those games. But yeah, for fans of those series, here's something to look forward to. It looks like we're gonna see a resurgence of video game movies that are actually produced to actually be good. Because the reason why video game adaptations have never really flourished all that well in the movie market is because most video game movies are basically just released to pander to the fans and all that, just to make a haphazard movie with terrible writing, terrible characters and all that. But hey, it's based on this video game, so automatically everyone who plays that video game will be watching the movie, right? So yeah, that's pretty much the news for today. Anyway, everyone, thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the bell icon, and if you wish to support me, my page link is in the description below. And as always, I'm Cyber Rampage, and I'll be seeing you guys and gals in the next video.
ここには少しさえもない表は素朴